Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to the SavvyCat Podcast, Episode 2, Season 2. I am Savvy.
And I'm Cat.
And together we are SavvyCat Productions because we made a film company when we were 12 for the movie trailer for The Butterfly Effect.
It was great.
It was great. I still have video clips of it in my phone.
That's brilliant. I love that for you. I know exactly the one of the video, and she'll never let that one see the light of day.
Standing in a corner and just shaking my phone, my iPod Touch actually, being like, she's in a time machine.
Oh my God. That was iconic. Speaking of iconic, we're moving to the second part of our travel, which I don't know. I'm very excited to talk about because we're moving on to the United States of America.
Those are two very contradicting statements. There, I'm very excited in United States of America. Those shouldn't go together in a sentence.
I'm excited, not happy, but excited. We spent 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it was
10 days.
No, it was closer to 3 weeks. I think
okay.
It was like 18 days or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
18 days in the United States of America, and it
America.
was
Sorry.
jam-packed. So we did
Ooh.
not have a rest day.
No.
We went to 2 states, 4 cities, and 6 concerts in 4 days at Disneyland.
And we ended up on we took 11 planes.
Jesus.
Don't ask about our carbon footprint,
I was
please.
about to make a very inappropriate.
Taylor Swift is shaking.
She's quaking. Yeah, no, it was a lot, and we did a lot, and I still kind of haven't recovered at all.
We have not had time to process because it's been fucking full on.
Oh,
Woo!
that's a story for another day. But yeah, no, we initially we went to the US because Stray Kids, our favorite band of all time ever, announced a tour in the United States. And we were in New Zealand at the time, and we were trying to figure out, because we knew that we had to be in the UK or Gibraltar by a certain by the 23rd of July. We knew that. So we had to fill time in between when we were in New Zealand and when we had to be in Gibraltar. And of course the logical situation would be to go to the UK. But then we'd be not living anywhere and we couldn't rent anywhere, and it would have all been a bit tricky. So we were like, okay, maybe we could go to Japan, because I used to live in Japan. But their borders were still closed because COVID is still a thing. And then Skiz announced a tour, and we were like, why don't we just be silly? Why don't we just be a little crazy and buy tickets to 6 different shows?
The US is literally the halfway point. There's 2 routes to get between the UK and New Zealand. You either stop in Asia or you stop in America. So it was technically on the way. Technically.
So we went to 2 LA shows, 1 Oakland show, 2 Seattle shows, and 1 Anaheim show.
Yeah. But getting those tickets was not that easy. We thought when we decided to do this, we were like, we can fucking get tickets. Okay, we're going to sit down and we're going to fucking get tickets. I know getting tickets is hard. Obviously. So I had a phone and a laptop. Kat had a phone and a laptop. My mom had a computer. We all sat down, had the website ready to go 5 minutes before the tickets went on sale. That's a lie. An hour before the tickets went on sale. We got in there. As soon as the tickets went on sale, we refreshed the page, and every single one of us, there are 2,000 plus people in front of you.
Ticketmaster. I have deep ingrained hatred for Ticketmaster, because not only did we have to sit in a queue of probably it was 6,000 people for each of us. Mm-hmm. We got there, and obviously a lot of the tickets had gone. But also, the tickets that were there were $5,000.
Yeah, premium pricing. Because the tickets are worth more. There are so many people trying to get them. So we're going to increase the price so the true fans can get the... Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Real fans would spend $5,000 on this ticket.
These tickets are usually $60, but we've priced them at $3,000 because real fans would pay that much. Chan would slap you. Chan would knock you the fuck out.
And the ones that were still remaining that were the normal price, you would click on them and you would go to cart and it's like, sorry, someone's already got that ticket.
Then why didn't you hold it?
Then why did you show it to me? Every ticket you clicked on, it's like, someone already has it. Someone already has it.
Why did you show it to me?
At
one point, I clicked on a ticket and then I had to go, I like put in all my card information, clicked pay, and it was like, sorry, somebody already took these. What?
Like what? So why didn't you? If someone has it in their cart or are in the process of checking, don't show it to me, please. Oh my God.
It's infuriating. And that went, there were like 2 days of sales. There was 1 day of sale where like half the tickets went up sale and then they announced additional tickets. The second time we tried, we had a lot more success than we did the first time because I think a lot of people gave up.
Yeah.
We got sound check tickets
Woo!
time, so we were extra special.
Yeah.
But the first time we didn't get a single one.
No. Yeah.
Not a single one.
For the first 4 shows, by the way, because it was like before the additional dates. Yeah. And then, for the additional dates, they were like, people were like, It's because the scalpers couldn't get rid of their tickets.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because half of the tickets were bought by scalpers.
Yeah.
Who were all trying to resell the tickets for like $1,000. And people were like, I'm not fucking paying that. So then when the next show's tickets went on sale, no scalpers were buying them because they're like, I can't even get rid of the fucking tickets I already have.
Yeah, I know. It was really sad because like, you know, even when we went into the concerts, like you could tell scalpers had tried to take advantage of this because obviously they had sold out of all tickets. And they did have it. But because assholes had bought so many tickets, you would see like a chunk in the crowd of like 6 seats that were empty because some asshole decided to sell them for like $3,000.
The last concert we went to, we sat in a section where we were literally some of the only people in the entire section.
There was no one around us.
We were the only section that didn't have people in it as well. So like that's how we knew this whole section had been bought out by resellers.
Yeah.
Which was like so fucking sad. It was weird.
It
was really weird.
Had a great night though because I could stand up as much as I wanted without worrying about blocking anybody's view.
Exactly. So. Except for the fucking person in front of us kept getting up and leaving all the time.
They left during fucking waiting for us. Anyway, we're not up to that point.
No. I am quickly going to go grab my water because I forgot to take my pills a minute ago. Please entertain the guests while I'm gone for 3 seconds.
So we should start from the beginning, right? That's going to look really weird with your face fucking chopped in half. We went from Sydney, right? Sydney to Hawaii to LA.
We didn't stay in Hawaii, don't worry. It was just a stopover through there.
Yeah, it was just a stopover, but it did mean that because we went into Hawaii, we got to skip the international airport in LA. We spent like 3 hours at the airport in Hawaii, but we went through customs and stuff. And so we got into LA at like, what?
10 o'clock or something?
Yeah, 10 o'clock at night. And then...
After like a 20-hour travel pretty much? Yeah.
And we had to grab our bags and then for some fucking reason... all the transport places are like a 20-minute drive on our bus outside of the airport. I don't know why they do that. That's ridiculous. So we had to find a bus to get to the place to wait for an Uber. Like, why? Why?
Yeah, they said it's because otherwise there'd be too much traffic going into the airport, but I just think you need a bit of infrastructure with your airport. LAX is like literally just the worst place on earth.
It really is.
I've had to go through international customs and passport clearance there twice, and I literally, it's just sort of universally agreed upon place. Never, ever fly internationally into LAX. Never do it. Avoid it at all costs. Do not do it.
Do not do it.
Even domestically, it's a bitch. We had to walk for like 2 kilometers from one side of the airport all the way to get our bags. Like,
Which
why?
were in the open. Like, the bags were, like, literally anybody can walk in and take your fucking bags.
You get the bags after you come out of customs. It's fucking weird. It's so weird. And then they almost lost our bags. I was like, oh my God, an ordeal.
Anyway, don't like LAX. And that was, I think, a good introduction to LA.
Yeah.
So we got on to an Uber and we were staying at a place near Disneyland because we then went straight the day after.
We woke up at 6 a.m. to go to Disney at opening.
We went to Disneyland opening.
We didn't get back to our hotel until like 1 or 2 in the morning, by the way. I think we got back at like 1 a.m. Yeah. We were so exhausted because our flight from Sydney was at like 9 p.m. Yeah. And already you take a nighttime flight. You've been awake all day. Mm-hmm. Then you fly overnight. Neither of us can sleep on planes, not even a little bit. And it's a 10-hour flight to Honolulu, 4 hours in Honolulu, and then a 5-hour flight to LA. And then it's been like, we've been awake for like, 32 hours. Yeah. We get back to our hotel, we sleep for 5 hours and wake up and we're like, Disneyland. Disney is open for 16 hours, by the way.
And we spent every single second at that place. I love Disneyland. And the worst part is, it's not even that we were at Disneyland all that day. Is we walked 40,000 steps at Disneyland on day one because I really like Star Wars, right? So I wanted to spend a lot of time in the Star Wars area. But of course we wanted to go through different rides. And we found a drink that we really liked in the Star Wars area. It's like this juice. So we went a ride, walked all the way. If you don't know the layout of Disneyland is like a main park, and then the Star Wars place is a little bit outside because it's newer. So we walked all the way to the Star Wars land, then all the way back, and then all the way, and then we got like 6 juices.
We drank a lot of juice. We spent like almost $100 on juice in one day.
It was really good juice.
It's really good.
Really good juice. And then,
that wasn't enough for us, though. No. We went back home that night at midnight and then woke up the next morning. Do it all over again. Exactly. Day 2 at Disney.
At California Adventure, I think
was it Disney California Adventure Disney? Is that what we did? No, not that we did it again. But this time we allowed ourselves slightly more sleep.
We woke up at 8 a.m. this time. Mm-hmm. So we were responsible. And then we spent all day until closing at California Adventure.
Yeah.
And then we went to bed. And then we woke up the next morning at 8 a.m. again.
I think we did 9 a.m. this time because we were like, so tired. And our legs were so sore. Our feet. Because you can't sit down. No. And it's like 35 degrees this whole time too. Like, it's fucking hot. I got so sunburnt day 1. We had to leave Disney so I could go buy some sunscreen because I was like so burnt.
And then, day 3, Disneyland.
So we hadn't slept. We got off our fucking flight and then went California Disney.
And then the reasonable thing to do after that was to be like, okay, the next day we're going to sit down and we're going to relax by the pool. No. We went into not downtown LA. Hollywood Boulevard, Santa Monica,
Venice Beach.
We did a whole bus tour that took us around. I was not quite impressed.
No.
By Hollywood, to be honest. Especially Hollywood, because obviously I grew up in not America, and I grew up a lot with Disney Channel and a lot of American TV shows. And a lot of the things they tell you is that you move to LA and you become big. You have to go to Hollywood. Hollywood is the place of dreams. It's the city of angels. It's so amazing and incredible. I turned up to Hollywood Boulevard and there was nothing there.
Nothing. Literally nothing. You can't even eat there.
No, we had to walk 3 kilometers to find food.
And it was a smoothie bowl.
Yeah.
And there was nothing else there.
And there's construction over the Hollywood Boulevard stars, which don't they pay like $5,000 to have those put in place?
Like just maintenance. Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I really like Santa Monica?
Santa Monica was nice. The beach there was really nice. I think the thing with us is like we're very spoiled for beaches. So like Santa Monica was a really nice beach. And they were like, this is the Pacific Ocean. Like, this is incredible. It's the Pacific Ocean. I'm like,
wow.
I'm in the Pacific. Yeah. That is the ocean. Correct.
Wow.
I am from a Pacific island, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bus tour wasn't that impressive either because we drove down the street and, like, usually I expected them to tell us about celebrities, right?
Yeah.
I expected that. That's what happens. But I expected them to tell us about, like, the celebrities' lives, like where they ate, where they worked, where they got their first jobs, those kinds of things, which is mildly interesting to me. They told us about Harry Styles likes chicken fingers at one restaurant. They told us that like 4 times.
Yeah. They made so many jokes about it. And he's not even American. That's the funniest part.
But the weirdest part was that I found out where more celebrities died than lived. Like, we just drove down the street and they were like, oh, yeah, this person overdosed. And I'm like, on that street corner, and the police found his body. And I'm like, I don't know who that is because you didn't even tell me, like, anything about him. Which is so sad. It's so sad. It broke my heart. And we drove past, like, the place where Marilyn Monroe was buried. That was the only significant thing they could tell us about Marilyn Monroe. Like, she hasn't done anything else in her life. I just found it really fucking depressing.
So fucking weird.
It was weird and depressing. And so many people were on the bus being like... It was so funny because I've been on a lot of hop-on, hop-off buses before because I've traveled a lot. And usually what happens is that they stop at a stop, and then intermittently people will get on, get off. This bus did not stop, and nobody wanted to get off the bus.
No one got off. Literally no one got off on any stop.
Anything, unless it was like the stop to change over to another bus.
To go to the beach, yeah.
No one wanted to stop anywhere. No one was interested in stopping anywhere, which was fascinating to me.
Yeah. They were using it as public transport since there is no public transport.
Yeah.
And it's like cheaper than an Uber to get from Hollywood Boulevard to like Santa Monica Beach. It's just cheaper.
Yeah, I found it really interesting because I've never seen that happen before, like ever.
No. I've only ever done one other hop-on, hop-off tour bus before, and the one we did in Berlin, so I'm not sure. But when we did that one, everyone was getting on and off the whole time.
Everybody gets on and off.
So fucking weird.
Yeah.
So we did that one day and then decided we never needed to go into LA ever again.
Yeah.
So the next day we did have a rest day.
We did have a rest.
One rest. No, wait.
Was
No, we didn't. The next day.
Yeah.
The next day, we went to a concert.
Yeah. I was about to say.
We'd had a rest day because we rested during the daytime, but no, we didn't. We started getting ready the concert doesn't start till 7:30. We have seated tickets. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But we started getting ready at like 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
And then we left for the concert at 2:00. We walked there and then we waited outside in the scorching hot sun for 4 hours for the doors to open.
And the doors were fucking late.
And it's the fucking worst because these arenas, there's no shelter.
No.
It's like I said, like 35 degrees, pure sunshine. There's no shade. There's also no food and no water available. And there's no shops around because for some reason they put arenas in the middle of fucking nowhere. And no one's taken advantage of the fact that there are thousands of people who want to eat food.
For a disclaimer, there was a McDonald's, but nothing in McDonald's in the US is vegan because they chip their fries in fucking beef. So we couldn't eat shit.
And even then, that was like a 15-minute walk.
Yeah. No, it wasn't nearby, but it was the only thing.
It was the only thing that was close. Oh, and a fucking like steakhouse.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's also a steakhouse. Which was not very helpful to us.
No.
And then, the only food that was available you could get to once the doors opened.
And the doors were late.
The doors were late, so then by the time the doors opened, no one had eaten all day. There was very limited food options, and the concert started in like an hour.
Yeah.
So everyone's trying to get food, but like then you also don't want to be late for the concert.
Yeah. So the lines were huge, and then everybody was just standing like literally outside the door, shoveling the food into their faces, and then running to their seats. And then as like we just sat down, and then it almost immediately started.
Yeah.
And, like, it's this thing of, like, I don't know. It's so funny because I don't know why the concert was late. I assume that there was technical issues or something like that. Something happened. But it was so funny because one of the members, Bongchan, was, like, there's a app that you can get that, like, they can text their fans or whatever. Like, it's, like, a big thing. And he was messaging, like, I'm playing Pokemon Go right now. Does anybody have a shiny Charizard? Let's all beat this one gym. And we're all standing out there sweating and hungry, being like, please.
Let us into the concert.
Please.
And he's like playing Pokemon Go. And then there were fans who were like playing against him because his name on the fucking Pokemon Go app is his name is Christopher Bang.
Yeah.
Right. And so his name on Pokemon Go is what? Chris Bang 97.
Yeah. Subtle. He's
so
real
subtle. So then there were like stays battling him in Pokemon, which was very funny.
It was very funny. But at the time, I just remember standing there like really hungry, being like, I swear to God, if this is the reason,
I'm going to fight you. But then we went into the concert. So excited. I've never been so excited in my entire life.
It was incredible. Like I can't describe the concert. Like I've never felt so loved and at home and part of something than I did at any night of the concert. The concerts kept getting better.
Yeah,
too.
somehow they just kept getting better.
Night, like, because when you tell people that you go to 6 concerts
of the same concert,
yeah. People are like, don't you get bored? No, I didn't. Genuinely, I did not. I was more excited every single time.
All I wanted to do was just like live in the concert forever. It was, and they went quicker every time because I guess we knew what was coming. Yeah. So we get to a point and we're like, how are we up to here already?
I know.
How are we up to here already?
I remember the first night. It's so funny because like, I like both remember it very vividly and don't remember it at all. Mm-hmm. Like I look at the videos that we took sometimes and we, those things, and I can see all the stages in my head so clearly, but I can't remember like the first time I saw it because I was just so absolutely blown away. Like red lights, the first time red lights come out, I don't think I've ever screamed harder in my life. I was losing my plot. I was so overwhelmed.
It was, and then like a lot of tears. The first night I didn't cry that much because I was like too in shock to cry. And as the concerts went on, I like cried more and more every time.
There was one night, we'll get up to it, but there was one night I actually had to sit down and people were looking at me like, are you fucking okay? But
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, those were our Anaheim shows. And the second night was much better in terms of the fact that like the doors opened on time. Yeah. And there was more food. And because the doors opened on time, there was more time to get food. People weren't as rushed and stuff, which was good.
Weren't those the LA shows?
That's what I meant. I said the wrong word. It's because we stayed in Anaheim for Disney. And then not Anaheim, LA. Please ignore me. It was at the Forum. But yeah, the lines were much better. We were able to actually get food and take it into the venue and like sit down and eat our food. Yeah. And our seats were incredible too.
Great seats.
For most of the ones from the first round, all of the ones from the first round, we had to buy resale tickets. Yeah. But they were all good. All of our concert tickets worked, which was good.
Thank God. I was really nervous.
There was a few that we were very worried about. But yeah. And it was...
Yes, we had 2 concerts
in LA.
So one after another. And then the next day, we took a plane to... Oakland.
But we didn't think about the fact that we had to catch that plane the day after a concert and our flight was at 9 in the morning. So we got home from the concert at 1 a.m. and we had to get a plane.
We did not sleep for 3 weeks.
No.
Not at all. But my legs have never been so toned.
Oh, I know. We walked so much. There's no transport in the US. We had to walk everywhere. So we walked to and from the concerts. Like every time.
And we stood the entire time. Well, most of the time except for the VCRs. But
And my favorite part about that is I bought new Doc Martens to wear to concerts because they went with my outfits. I wanted the like white vegan platform socks.
Her feet were like red and bloody and bruised.
Like during the concerts, the adrenaline was so high, I didn't notice that my feet were rubbing. And then, we got to like walking to concerts near the end and my feet, I had to stop because my feet were literally bleeding. Yeah. And after every concert, I'd wake up the next day and have more bruises all over my legs. I'm like, where did these come from? Anyway.
Yeah, so we went to Oakland and then...
There was nothing in Oakland.
there is nothing in Oakland, so we went to San Francisco.
An Uber to a different city.
Yeah, we took an Uber to San Francisco, which was, it's very pretty. I do see the appeal. I just don't think we went at a good time.
It was empty. There was no one there.
There was no one there, and we couldn't. People said the San Francisco nightlife is the best part. We didn't stay for the night because we were staying in Oakland, and basically our Oakland trip was concert flight, so we had no time in between, so we had to spend the day in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I really like the architecture there. It's a very pretty place. We went to the big street where all the movies do their big car chases down, you know, the curvy one.
Which is really hard to photograph, by the way, unless you get like an aerial shot, because there's too many trees and stuff.
It's a bitch to climb up.
It is.
And then we went and we walked around, and I got like death water in a can or something like that. It's just water. But it was marketed...
Water with a story.
Water with a story. It was marketed as like liquid death, I think it was called.
Yeah.
It was just cold water. That was all it was.
Yeah.
But I bought it because it was called liquid death.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we went back to Oakland.
And then we had to walk to the concert, which was the worst walk ever.
Oh.
Because it's like along a highway with like overgrown path. And there's no stops, no food, nothing. The entire walk, there's nothing. Oh, also, we didn't even mention that we were barely able to eat in this trip because, like, you can't find vegan food anywhere.
No, you can't.
There's nothing close by.
No.
Uber Eats is insanely expensive.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were barely able to eat, which was awful, and I'm so shit.
Yeah, basically, on every single time we had a concert day, we basically just ate chips.
At the concert venue.
Because that's all we had could afford to do.
Yeah. So anyway, we were walking to the venue, and it's about a 40-minute walk in the scorching hot heat on the side of a highway, and it tells us to turn and go down this path, and we were looking, we're like, there is literally no path there. There was not a path.
No. It was literally a bush and an abandoned like shopping cart.
Yeah. And so we were like, okay. And we managed to get there fine, but like it was so fucking weird. And that night we did take an Uber back.
Yeah.
And then we got back and we were hungry, so we wanted to order Uber Eats and it never came. Right. But then we ended up getting something. We found something we could get and it arrived and they put egg in it. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah, we ordered delivery and then it like took an hour and we're like, I can't wait anymore. It's never coming. So we ordered something else and it showed up with egg and we were like,
not just like a tiny bit of egg.
No, like it was a full
burrito,
fried egg.
But it was like, I took a bite of it and then I was like, this tastes weird. I looked down and it was like this.
It's like half egg.
And I was like, oh shit.
We literally selected the option that said no egg.
And they put an egg in it?
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Anyway, the concert was incredible. I remember getting there after this was the worst one.
The venue.
The venue
it was the worst
venue. It was so dangerous, so awful. Firstly, the venue outside was so confusing. No instructions, so confusing. We finally go in and
we met some friends who helped us.
We did. And when we went in, it was so cramped. No one could move or do anything. Everyone's trying to get food, but the food line wasn't moving. There were people coming through trying to move big trolleys, and they were just screaming, like, if you're in the way, I'll bowl you over.
Yeah.
It took us like 45 minutes just to buy chips. Then we couldn't find the door that we needed to go into.
No.
But then when we finally got there and we were walking to our seats, we were like, is this one? Are we still going? Oh my God, is it this
way closer than I thought it was.
We were so close to the stage. And as we walked closer, we were like,
Are you sure?
Are you sure? And then we sat in our seats and we're so nervous until the concert started because we're like, what if we're wrong? What if someone comes and tells us we're not allowed to sit here? Because it was way too good to believe.
No, yeah. It was on the side. But it was like way down. It was practically in the pits. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah, it was.
But like not so in the pits where you don't look over people's probably the best, my favorite seats of
absolutely.
Any of them.
Yeah, and that was those seats were incredible. And the Oakland show had the best vibes.
Oakland show
definitely had the best vibes. And
everyone there was so happy to be there and cheer. Was that the one with which one had the mother and the little girl?
That was that one. Yeah. The Oakland one, yeah.
In front of us there was this mother and this little girl, and she was wearing like big headphones, and the mother was obviously a stay, a huge stay, and basically the entire time they just like cuddled each other and sung the songs and like
we're dancing together.
It was so
really sweet. It was
so sweet.
Also at this concert that we danced with Bucky and with Changbin. So
Yeah, that's right. And a little delusional moment.
they were doing this. They were doing this, and no one else in our area was except for us, and so they were dancing with us. Obviously, guys, and we were actually close enough to make eye contact. So like,
it is a Delulu moment, but it is
a reasonable Delulu moment.
A reasonable Delulu moment.
Got another one of those for you coming up. Anyway, the next show we went to, after this, we flew to Seattle. My favorite thing about every hotel we stayed at was the only people staying there were stays. So you'd walk around and everyone's wearing like Stray Kids hoodies. Everyone's got their light sticks. Literally every single person. You're in your room and you can hear people playing Stray Kids music all down the hall.
You walk in after the concert and there's just like a crowd and people are like, did you go? Did you go? Yeah, I went. Thank you. What was your favorite part? Who's your bias?
And then
we show up at the airports.
Same thing. And everyone at the airport
wearing Stray Kids merch going on the same plane and you're like,
yeah, the planes were full of them all going to the it was very validating because like we're taking the same flights as other people to go to their next concert.
It's great.
It's fantastic. Yeah. And then Seattle was nice. I liked Seattle.
I really liked
Seattle was a proper city. There was actually the first time there was food around us. Things were walking distance away. We had a little bit more time in Seattle, which was good. Yeah. And the concert venue in Seattle was so much better.
It was the climate change arena, and
it's the first carbon neutral venue in the world, I think.
Yeah. But you can tell that it's brand new. Everything was set up so nicely. It was, in the city, so we could go and get lunch before going in line.
It was in the same area as the Space Needle.
Exactly. It was fantastic. I really liked Seattle.
I really liked Seattle. And we were able to actually get food. We walked to this really nice Chinese place and got like really good tofu.
Yeah. It was funny though, because again, we went there, we sat down and she was like, are you there for the concert? And we were like, yes. And she's like, many people have come.
Yeah.
And we were like, thank you.
Yeah. And then that one was the first night we went. It was the second night Seattle was the sound check, right? The first night was not, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that night Wait, was that the one with the kid in front of us? Was Oakland? Yeah, it was. Okay, so LA, the first one was on the side, diagonally. LA, the second one was straight ahead. Yeah. Oakland was the one closer to the edge, the very edge.
Yeah.
The first night at Seattle was the close one. Because I remember going into Seattle and that's when I was feeling really anxious about the tickets.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's confusing. So the first Seattle one. Oakland still had the best vibes though. Yeah. Oakland's the one that was running a little bit late and they did the view before the show started.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
We still did dance with Chungmin for that one though. We did. Not Delulu. # not Delulu. So this is the one we went to a few. It's very easy to get confused.
Yeah,
but yeah, that arena was so much nicer.
So much nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we arrived in Seattle and then we had a concert and then we had sound check, which I am so happy we went to. It was great.
Fantastic.
It went so quickly. The sound check was very short. It was just they came on, they sung 3 songs and then they dipped, which I respected.
But they were in their people clothes.
They were in their people clothes, which was actually just merch from the concerts. But they were in their people clothes.
In their people clothes.
They just came on. They said, hi, we're going to be performing 3 songs. And then they performed the 3 songs. And they were like, goodbye. And then they disappeared from in front of my very eyes. Brilliant. And the girl behind us, shout out to her. Because she was the best person ever. We didn't talk with her, but she was talking very loud. And she was basically enlisting everyone to becoming a fan of CIX. Yeah, just going up to everybody being like, have you heard about this group? These are the members. Here is my favorite song. This is how you can stream them. Thank you for coming to my
Correct take, though. They make fantastic music.
They do.
Their music is incredible. If you haven't listened to them, you absolutely should.
I recommend Jungle, Cinema, Movie Star, Wave.
There's another one that I really like. Oh, Confession.
Confession's so good.
Anyway, their music is incredible. You have to listen to it.
Yes.
And the weirdest part about that one, though, is that there was a seat empty next to us during soundcheck. And then when the concert started, the seat was filled. Someone paid for those tickets and didn't go to soundcheck, which was really weird.
I hope they were okay.
I feel like they might have gotten a resale ticket and then they didn't have the correct name, so they couldn't get into
probably
soundcheck. Because they do like an ID check in terms of you give the name of, you can't get in unless you're the one who bought the ticket.
Yeah.
So she might not have known the name she needed to say to get the soundcheck thing. Yeah. That's my assumption anyway.
Yeah, probably.
But the sound, it was so incredible.
Except if you're in the pit, don't bring a sign that's bigger than an A4 piece of paper. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
During soundcheck, my view was half blocked because someone had a it's my birthday sign.
Which, happy birthday. But put that shit down. I'm trying to see.
The one annoying thing was the person in front of us who she was enjoying it so much. Yeah. And I'm so glad she was. But she had her light stick up way too high. When you have a light stick, the protocol, keep it at head level. You put it up here. I can't your light stick is in front of my face.
Can't see shit.
You can be excited and dance without putting your arm in front of my face. That's just me though.
And the soundcheck one is when I had a massive I cried so hard.
We were sobbing.
Because they have, in the middle of the concert, they have this break where there's 8 members and 4 of them go off stage to get changed, and 4 of them stay on and they sing it's like a different cover or a song that they haven't that they've written or something like that. And there's only one song of Stray Kids that I have only heard once, now twice. But I had only ever heard once because the first time I heard it, I cried so hard I almost threw up, and then I never listened to it ever again because I was like, I'm not doing that to myself. I can't do it. And it's Little Star by Hyunjin. And I won't go into the meaning of that song, but if you're interested,
it's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. It's really, really difficult to listen to, and I really can't listen to it. But him being the dick that he is, I love him so much, but he started singing it, and the second I heard, again, I've only heard the song once, but the second I heard the first note, I knew exactly what it was. I burst into tears and had to sit down, and I couldn't stand up because then afterwards,
insult to injury,
after Little Star was fucking Streetlight by Changbin, which is also the most devastating song I've ever heard.
During Little Star, my brain was like, I swear to God, if Changbin does Streetlight. Then Little Star ended, and Changbin's like, when stays are in the dark, I'll be your... And I was like... And I started crying more before he even started. I was trying to film this because no way am I not having Streetlight permanently. Yeah. And so I'm standing there filming it and bawling my eyes out. Kat's had to sit down. She's crying into her hands. I'm sitting there I can barely look at him because I'm too busy sobbing into my fucking light stick. Yeah. And then that ended.
And then it's Waiting for Us.
Then it's Waiting for Us, which is a fan song. And so I'm standing there. We're both standing there crying. I have my light stick literally shoved into my eyeballs as I'm sobbing. And we both had to sit down. The people behind us were like, are you okay? Wailing.
I was crying.
We were wearing masks too. And so our masks were soggy. We didn't have spare masks, and we were sitting there with the whole rest of the concert. We had these sopping wet masks, and all our makeup was run.
And it was so funny because after Waiting for Us, I was like, okay, I can calm down, I can breathe because the other 4 members are coming up on stage. And then fucking Suman made us swear at him. They got the crowd to chant fuck to them, and I was like, oh, that's a vibe shift.
The complete opposite emotion, but one of the best things I've ever been a part of. Because it's now the biggest fandom thing that's happened.
Yeah. Basically what happened is the Stay by Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
How does it go?
I'll be
fucked up.
Yeah, I'll be fucked up if you can't be right here. There, that one.
Yeah, but they were saying I'll be messed up. And then for some reason... Whose big idea was it?
Chan. Of course it was Chan.
Was let's sing it together. I'll be...
And
of course the crowd went, fuck. Of course they did. Of course they did. And he was like, no, we We were saying messed up, guys. You can't swear, guys. It's just say messed up.
And then he trusted us.
And then he tried it again. And of course, we said fuck.
But like 10 times louder.
Oh, yeah. And then they just kept doing it.
Because they thought it was hilarious. And then they did another song. Chan and Minnow did a song that has an implied fuck in it.
Yeah.
We don't give a, and obviously everyone screamed fuck, and then he lost his shit.
Yeah.
And then in ending meant, Suwin fucking did it again.
Suwin did it again, but the other 4 members were there, and they were so startled and confused because they obviously hadn't caught on to what we were doing. So the entire crowd just screamed fuck at them, and they were like, what the hell?
And it was at the end of that concert you had your Delulu moment too, right?
Yeah, because I had...
I'll give you this one though, like absolutely.
I had red hair.
Yeah. No, this was the heart one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were all waving, and I went, like, I did a big heart, and then Xianxin also did a big heart.
And there was no one around us who did it,
so I claimed that. And then later on, he said, everybody's here with, wearing my outfits and dyeing their hair bright red, and I also had bright red hair, so I'm claiming
and
that
it
one.
was for Hyunjin.
Yeah, it was for Hyunjin.
And the goggles too. He's like, I love seeing all of your goggles. It's so cute. I'm like, Hyunjin thinks we're cute.
Thank you, Hyunjin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We accidentally dressed like Hyunjin for every single concert.
Don't say things like that. That's embarrassing. But anyway, that was Seattle.
The sound, it was incredible.
Yeah, and then, we really enjoyed Seattle. We went to a market by...
Pike's Market, right?
Yeah, something like that. Obviously, we couldn't walk around very much because there were dead fish everywhere. Mm-hmm. But we went, and I bought like a little bowl for my mom, and we, just went for a walk. I really enjoyed walking around. So
yeah, and then we went to a movie with the weirdest cinema.
We went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder, which is a good movie. Fucking fight me. But yeah, we went into the cinema, and there were like lazy boys with like.
The most amount of footroom I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know if that's how movie theaters are in the US. I assume we might have just gone and...
A lot of people said it is, so it seems... I think there's, like, multiple different types of movie theater, but they're, like, quite common.
That's so strange. I was so startled when we walked in.
Press a button and it, like, reclines and shit. They have a table that you can pull over, and the drinks were the size of my head.
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant. Anyway, I had a good time seeing Love and Thunder. Yeah, and that was Seattle. Oh,
the best part, walking back from the concert, you see all the fucking stays going into the fucking dispensary. The concert finishes, and then like 30 fucking 20-something-year-old women and like with plushies, because Stray Kids have plushies, so people like take their plushies. So these groups of like 20-something-year-old women with like plush toys go into a shop and just buy their like edibles and shit, which I respected.
It was great.
So much.
Yeah. That was Seattle.
Yeah.
And then we got on a plane and we went back to Anaheim. And then we decided to go to California Adventure again. Because literally, this was an impulse decision. But to defend it, it costs more to get an Uber to go anywhere other than Anaheim than it does to buy a ticket to Disneyland.
Especially since we also would have had to order Uber Eats to be able to eat because there was no food around us.
So we were like, fuck it, we'll just go to California Adventure.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
So we did, and we had a good time, and...
We will have a video about all of the Disneyland rides and stuff if you want to hear more about that.
I said hello to Shang-Chi, so he's my best friend now.
We got a pretzel with no salt. Americans don't understand accents, and it's hilarious.
That's great. Yeah, no.
And then
another concert.
The Anaheim concert, which was our goodbye, and it was Tier City. We got Maknae on Top too. Before the concert was like, we need to see Maknae on Top once. We need to see it live. But like, he has to. We were like manifesting it so hard. And he did. And then he came out and he was like, I can't believe I haven't done this for you yet. And he did it. And we were like, I got a video of it. And like, I was filming Jongin speaking, and we were both like, is he going to say it? Is it going to, and then we screamed.
Because we are prophets of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, those concerts genuinely changed my life.
They changed my life. And like, I don't know if a lot of people understand that, but like, they genuinely, because they, not only do they like sing their songs, which are incredible songs and they hold so much power, but also they have their ments and they talk about some of the songs and they talk about themselves a little bit and they talk about us, and it's like, it's just so comforting and inspiring.
When you're in a room full of people that are just there to love things, there is nothing like it. Like, you know, there's just a type of energy that exists when you're just there to be happy. And that's it. There's no expectations, there's no rules, there's no nothing except being in a moment with people that you love and people who enjoy the same things as you and just having fun. Like, there is nothing like it. And I've never felt so motivated or encouraged or special ever in my life. And the next time they do go on tour, you bet my fucking ass that I'm going to go to every single one I can get my hands on.
All of my savings are now dedicated towards the preparation for another tour.
Exactly. Come to Europe, please.
Please. I would assume that they will next tour. Please.
You are wishing on big stars.
Please, but they said in a fan call that they would.
Yeah, when they're like 60.
Yeah. One day we will see them again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pay to go back to America.
Oh, no. Then I just have to go to Disneyland again.
Oh, God. Yeah, but the US, it's so funny because, like, the US is arguably the worst country I've been to. We've been to a lot of countries. My least favorite, for sure.
For sure.
But at the same time, the 2 best weeks of my life. So
yeah, no.
Yeah. Imagine if it was any other place than the US. But to be fair, we spent most of the time in the US, like not even like there in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did try and go and see places, but obviously the US is so fucking big.
Yeah,
that going to 3 cities and 2 of them in the same state is not a good representation of what the country is.
No,
like, I understand that. I know that. But like, it did change my life. And I can't, that is due to the US, and I can't hold so much hate for it as I do. It's interesting.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah.
It was a really fucking good time, and we can't talk too much about the concerts because otherwise we will be here forever and we will cry. So that's why we've kept it a bit brief.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But yeah, it was, and then we came back to the UK after that and have not had time to process because we've been so busy
finding a place to live.
But we're excited to, when we have that, indulge and rewatch all of our concert videos and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be really fun.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till we can look through all our photos and talk about things.
And watch all their talkers and stuff about it.
Yeah.
I love loving things.
Same.
And I suggest, if at all possible, you should all find something to love.
I do think there has been a lot lately about being negative and dissing on things and finding flaws in everything, which I agree is necessary for a lot of things. You should point out critical points in the things that you enjoy, and you should keep a level head on about what is okay and what is not okay. You shouldn't let things just pass by because you love it. But I do think you need to love things. I do hope and encourage you to find something that genuinely makes you happy and genuinely just you get excited about.
Yeah.
I think everybody deserves to get excited about things and just enjoy things. Even if it's not the most perfect thing in the world, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be flawless. You can just enjoy it, and that's okay. And I really hope that everybody can find that thing for them.
And apparently unpopular opinion, but parasocial relationships are good.
Yeah.
To an extent.
To an extent. Yeah. Absolutely. I do think that, again,
as long as you're aware
of
the boundaries.
100%. Like, you don't have to be... You can get excited about seeing people in real life, and you can get excited about going to concerts, and you can... Like, that's absolutely... That's... Like, the artists themselves are excited about it, too.
Yeah, and you're allowed to, love people you don't know and care about people that you don't know. I find it really weird that people think that you can't do that. It's odd to me.
No, yeah.
As long as you are aware that there's like a boundary and they're not like your real friends and you
Yeah.
know that,
Yeah.
there's literally no, you're not hurting
Love
anyone.
people.
Just love people.
Just love people, man.
It's only a problem if you start getting mad that they like are like dating someone or whatever, and you're like, that should be me. Then that's weird.
Yeah, but that's weird even if you did know the person.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do know someone and you get mad about them dating somebody else, that's also a bit weird.
Yeah.
So like, just, I don't know, treat them like people and then you're good.
Yeah. Love things and don't let other people tell you can't love things.
Exactly.
I support you in your endeavors.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this has been our travel stories.
Yes, absolutely.
This was part 2.
Next time we'll come and talk about
Something else.
something else. I hope you enjoyed this podcast.
Yeah.
Find something. Tell us what you enjoy in the comments.
Yes, let us know something you love. Is it if like an artist? Is it like a thing like planes? I know a lot of people really like modes of transport and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
A book.
Yeah.
Movies.
Plants.
What is it that you enjoy?
Animals. Anything. Literally.
Literally anything.
Yeah. Let us know.
I'd love to hear about it. You literally write paragraphs about it. I love reading that sort of shit.
Same.
Like if you want to just vent about something that you enjoy, leave it in the comments. Maybe you'll find someone else who also is very interested in that and you can make a friend.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I will read every single one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I love learning about things and I love listening to people talk about things that they love. Even if I don't have interest in it, it's so cool to see.
Yeah. So vent out. Just have fun in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
It's one big good time. So
yeah.
Have a good day. Be healthy. Eat food. Drink water.
Take your meds.
Take your meds. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. See you in a couple of weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.